I'm the Director General of UNESCO. This is the United Nations organization that protects culture and heritage, promotes cooperation in education, in the sciences, communication, new technologies. And overall, I would say we are in the United Nations system, the ones working in order to promote human rights, human dignity, and to mobilize the world around some important ideas about why education matters, promote literacy, access to education, getting kids in schools, getting quality education. It's probably the organization with the most beautiful mandate. Well, if I'm in Paris, because UNESCO is based in Paris, then I meet in the morning. I meet my collaborators, my people. We try to look at what are the for the day, whether we have an international conference. I meet a lot of people during the day. I meet representatives from all over the world. We always have some minister coming or some representative of a non-governmental organization. I meet a lot of historians, intellectuals, people just come and share some ideas that they have about a project or about some concern about heritage destroyed or about culture. I meet a lot of, we have every single day in the evening also very interesting events. So we have concerts. Yesterday we had a wonderful concert. I appointed an artist for peace. We have goodwill ambassadors. We have artists for peace, who is the conductor of the Kiev Philharmonic Orchestra from Ukraine. I met him, Artists for Peace, and then we had a concert. And the beautiful thing about it that there were music from practically all over the world, from Ukraine, from Argentina, from India, from China. It was very much multicultural evening. Very often I travel. And maybe most of the time I'm somewhere in the world visiting different countries. I have visited more than 100 countries. And usually when I go, apart from my official visits, government and ministers, I always visit a World Heritage Site. I always visit, I always talk to the people, be it local people or some experts. I very often go to, as we call, difficult places, places where there has been destruction. Only this year I visited Nepal. After the earthquake, there was a devastating destruction of some of the most beautiful and old ancient Buddhist temples. And we have mobilized the international community. We have mobilized a lot of resources. We have started already reconstructing some of these beautiful temples. I go to schools. UNESCO has more than 10,000 associated schools where we involve children in these schools with some of our activities, either knowledge about history and heritage, about another culture, or about, as we call it, education for sustainable development, about environment, environmental protection, the impact of the climate change. And probably these are, I have visited, I don't know, dozens of schools in the world, from India and Pakistan and Afghanistan, visiting a girls' school. This year I was in Afghanistan once again, or just visiting our projects of literacy from Timor-Leste to Africa to Mali, Senegal, Latin America. And I think it's one of probably the most rewarding part of my work when I go to a newly built school, like I did very recently. In fact, I went there with Gordon Brown, a former Prime Minister of the UK, who is a special envoy for education. And we went jointly to visit Democratic Republic of Congo, a recently built school, and we met also with the kids there, talking about why education matters and how to instill in these kids more curiosity, be it for sciences. I think we have to do more in order to encourage young school children to be interested in sciences. I meet, I would say, very, very often, and I insist on that, I meet with many girls. I have met girls and schoolgirls in Iran. I have visited a girls' school in Pakistan, in Afghanistan. I have been in many African countries. And even this summer, we have launched a new initiative, which is interestingly said. We call it STEAM. It's about science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and arts. For girls. We make summer camps in Addis Ababa for Africa and in Costa Rica for Central America, for Latin America. We want to spread this idea in order to encourage more girls to be interested in these ideas. Very, very recently, I had an interesting discussion with my colleague, the Director General of ICAO. This is the Civil Aviation Organization, International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. And the idea is to encourage girls to be interested in aviation, to encourage girls to want to pursue careers, to become pilots, to become engineers, support staff, technicians, everything that is linked to aviation. Because still when I travel and I hear a voice of a woman who is saying, "This is your captain speaking," people start looking around and say, well, is it the flight attendant or really the captain? Even I myself sometimes, now I'm a little bit more used to it, but even I myself sometimes I started and I say, wow, is it really a woman a captain? So I think all this is, I'm passionate about it. I think this is something wonderful that if I can promote it, I will be very happy.
Strange feeling that we get when we find something familiar, but we know that it shouldn't be as familiar as it feels.